Hey guys, welcome back or to the channel. Let's zoom out here. And we're gonna work on the bike tonight. We're gonna remove that intake, which is the stock intake, and install man in the box. To do this, well, I'm gonna start with the bike first. Love those pops and cracks. You only get that at the starting though. Anyways, that's enough cold driving. I just like the sound. So to do this, we're gonna obviously remove this, the fairings from side to side, and get into it. Well, since I was running the bike inside, I thought it'd be a good idea, and plus it didn't smell all great, to open up the garage so we can breathe, because air and ventilation is important. Look at that epoxy work. That keeps the sides in place. As we are about to get rid of the stock air box, you will notice right away that that structure does a lot for the fairings of the bike. So this is what it looks like without the side panels on. Yes, that's an air horn. Everything gets very flimsy. And that's why you need the rad support. Even on this side. I know I haven't taken the air box out. As you can see, this has unbolted and it'll drop out. We're about to remove the air box. But more so to the point, there's a blue motorcycle stand that I don't use. The reason for that is I got the small version, the cheap version, and you need to pump it up. I can't reach those pumps, so I have to fabricate something to make it work later. Working on my bike, guys, and I remembered I have this tool. You know how you have those tight spaces and you have to get into things? Well, you have to get into some tight spaces in here, and we have a little space right there for the box. So I want to kind of get this inside here. Get a good look at it. And we're going to push this over here. I don't know if I can get it. So just right there, where it's full in. And all I have to do is push this like that. Pop that off. There we go. And I'm out. That's it. So this little tool here gets into that nice little space. And my hose is off, just like that. Right there. Hard to get in here to see that, but you can sort of tell. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nice little pliers. Now that part is out, and I've disconnected the mass airflow sensor. Just gonna undo the boot. Get the spark plug wire out of the way. Nothing else is connected. There's a leaf. And then gently. Just gonna turn the handlebars. Horns in the way. The other way. Nope, you want which way you want to go out? It's easy. Okay, we'll just kind of balance this out. Here we go. North. There it is. So the giant air box is now out. That's the magical leaf. Got the box in the spring, so that's probably where that happened. But yeah. Wow, so that's where the mass airflow sensor is, right there. And that's where the hose was. That's your tiny little intake, which is fine. Wow, so that's the size of the inlet. That really necks down. That's a lot of restriction. I bet you if you only did the intake, you would feel a difference. Plus you get that noise. the induction noise that we all like. But wow, that's intense. It's a big box, very hollow. So I'm gonna take this off, and then I'm gonna take a look at the air filter. So this is what the air filter looks like. And yes, I have a bunch of screws in my mouth. Not bad. The screen, this is very well engineered. No dirt, as I thought. That's what the box looks like on the inside. But as you can see, yeah, it needs a lot to the imagination. So, this filter bleh, is bloody huge. But, as you guys can see, it's very narrow. Like, very narrow. So the engine is definitely being starved. Lots of room for activities in here. But yeah, I can see why they put the velocity stack on some of these, but it kind of has one. But still, look at all that room. Wow. Anyways, we're going to put this back together. It's even got like a little water drain and stuff on it. Like, this was well engineered. So I said the man in the box is what we're getting. So we have some hardware, man in the box right there. There you can see that tube, even though it's silicone, Plier is metal and Dinger Bilt's even better. Would have got Dinger Bilt if I knew, but you know, hindsight 2020. Comes with an air filter by Canon, very nice. And you got the shock to keep be water repellent. So yeah, we got a little bit of everything in here. And we're going to install it. It's always important to lay out all your parts so you can see where everything is, where everything goes, and to make sure you have all the pieces to the puzzle. So let's do a little shout out to Tyler Taught Me. This is his video right now. I'm just doing the voiceover. And he did an excellent video comparing the Chimera to the man in the box. I just want to talk about it a little bit, and he's allowing me to use his footage for this part of the video. Now, he's talking about the Chimera, how the extension for the temperature sensor, which I thought was the mass airflow sensor, falls apart. And talks about how the Chimera hangs below the fairings. And it depends on what kind of look you want. That's the reason why I went with the man in the box, because it was nice and tucked up, and I did like the look of it. The Chimera itself is a nice unit. Now, even as he was pulling everything apart, and these are the two comparisons for the extension cables for the temperature sensor, the Chimera actually pulled apart, which is a known issue with it. And the man in the box in the far left comes with a nice little bit of heat shrink. Its connectors are much more premium. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to go with the man in the box in comparison to the Chimera intake. Now, if we compare the Chimera and the man in the box, the Chimera is metal, it's coated. The sensor reads the internal temperature of the air flowing through, which is great, whereas the man in the box is a little bit off to the left and to open air. You do get a case vent with the man in the box, which is separate from the intake, so I'm not competing for the same kind of airspace. I don't know if that's really a thing, but I like that idea as well. Now, mine is a slightly little bit different because I got the water repellent bag that goes over top, so that I don't want to have water coming up from the tire in the rain and stuff, because I will ride in the rain. And then the other thing that shocked me was the man in the box had a silicone hose, whereas the Chimera has a metal tube, and it's all molded and proper the way you would think it would be, and it's coated, which is nice premium finish. I do like that. I wish the man in the box had that as well, and the sensor was built into the inside of the tube, get a better reading. But it's all in what you want. The Chimera is a little bit cheaper, man in the box is a little bit more expensive. Obviously, different hardware, this and that. When I go to build my own intake, which I'm going to be doing, 3D modeling it, then 3D printing it, I'll be addressing all of these issues. It'll be out of ABS, and obviously, if whoever buys it will have their choice of colors, this, that, and the other. But I will be, later on, I'm going to actually put the sensor inside the intake instead of being open air. So I'll be combining a little bit of the Chimera world, a little bit of the man in the box world, just to make it all fit nice, premium, and proper. Now, I did reuse the shield for the hose, and I used the man-in-the-box hose, combining it all together, and I reused the stock clamps from the Honda on the hose as well. I didn't use the hose clamps that came with the man-in-the-box. I felt that the compression, like the C-clips, they did just a good enough job. If Honda thought it was okay, then I'm okay with it too. And now to assemble and install the chosen intake, the man-in-the-box intake. We're gonna rob the temperature sensor from the stock airbox, mount it with the bracket that comes with it, which will be mounted to the frame of the Grom. We'll use some of the hardware that comes with it, the fastening hardware from the Grom, and we'll put the sock over top of the filter, the intake filter, and then put it all nice and loose in place. At which point we'll line up all the bracketry and have it. Once it's all facing the right way, we will mount it into place. So I'm not sure how all that looked on camera, but this is how it looks when it's installed on the bike. I'm just going to pull it off just so you guys can see it a bit closer up. There we go. So you have your mass airflow sensor right there. We have the case vent, the engine breather or intake with the water repellent sock on it, 2 clamps. Now there's 2 bolts here, 1 bolt for the case vent, and then you have a new hose for that. And then the extension for the temperature for the intake. So it's definitely not a mass airflow sensor, it's just a temperature sensor. So I've been saying it wrong all along. Nice. I'm not even gonna bother editing that out. My mistake, it is what it is. I actually had hoped it was a mass airflow sensor, but hey. So now we're gonna put this on here, and then this little bracket here will clamp up to there where the intake used to. The big one, the main one, the stock one. And then this little tube here will be brought down right over there for the case vent. So intake is installed. You can see you got the filter, 2 clamps. I like to keep them all on the same line right here. And we have the sensor going to the back there. The other case filter, so the engine intake, and then the case filter go all the way through, down through there, and over to here. And then you have that plumber's clamp on there. Pretty nice. So we're gonna start it up. You can definitely hear the difference. Sounds a bit louder too. I like it. Woo, nice. Pretty nice. So guys, if you like what I do here, please like, share, and subscribe. Have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And I'm going to get back to buttoning this up, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.